happens to a checking account when someone dies? This video is somewhat related to some of our other educational videos that talk about bank accounts upon the death of a person, or do I need to probate the bank account, who has access to a deceased person bank account. So be sure to watch those as well. But let's talk about what happens to a checking account when someone dies. Well, it depends on the account. It depends on how it's held, who the owners are. Let's say if the account is owned with another person as a joint tenant with the right of survivorship, usually when one owner dies, again, usually the other person gets everything. So basically, if you are a joint owner to a bank account and the other person passed, oftentimes all you have to do is to take the death certificate to the bank and they will remove that person's name off the account and the account becomes yours. One thing here to have in mind, sometimes it takes a while for the world to catch up to the death of a person. So sometimes you may receive small checks, bigger checks on the name of the deceased person still, like a rebate or some kind of refund. You may want to keep that owner's name on the account for a while so you can deposit some of those checks. Otherwise, if you remove the person, the bank may not allow you to deposit checks, and then it may be a hassle to have those checks returned and reissued, or maybe even initiate probate. So that might be something to consider. If it's a large amount, usually you just have to make sure that you are the person entitled to that money. Again, a probate may be required, or you may want to speak to an attorney about that. If, let's say, so that is if you were 2 people or 3 people are on the bank account and one passes, again, take the death certificate, they remove that person's name. Now, if the bank account is owned by just one person and that person passes, what do you do then? Well, the next step will be going to the bank and say, hey, this person passed, here's their death certificate, what can I do? Usually, if the bank is going to look and see if there is a payable on death beneficiary on that account. So a payable on death says, it's a form that the owner must have signed at one point that says, when I die, I want this person to receive this money. If there is a payable on death, and you are the person, the bank should just write you a check after you sign some forms. If there is a payable on death beneficiary, but you are not the payable on death beneficiary, then the bank probably they won't tell you how much money it is. They may just tell you there is a payable on death and you're not it. If there is no payable on death, then it depends. If the bank account, if all of the assets of the deceased person are under $50,000, the bank account may be collected with a small estate affidavit. You may need to see an attorney about that. But if it's over $50,000, the bank will tell you that you likely need to file for probate. So if you are, well, we all have bank accounts, so be sure to list payable on death beneficiaries on your bank account. You may have, you may not have. Go ask, hey, what happens to this account if I die? And the bank will say, well, here is this form, you can designate someone. Because probate may be required just for a bank account if it's over $50,000. That can be easily avoided by designating a beneficiary. So the bank will tell you if it's over $50,000, they may not tell you the amount, they may say you need to file for probate. At that time, you will likely have to see an attorney and make arrangements from there. I hope this video helped. It's a lot of information. Again, if you have quick questions, don't hesitate to give us a call, 405-857-8231. We offer these free phone call consultations just to determine, hey, what is the bank saying? Have you tried this? See how that works. If not, if we need to initiate probate, we would love to help you. Thank you for watching.